I spent the day, I've been at a meeting, so I'm all booted and suited. I've been at a meeting with Frank Warren and that, because I've got a fighter. You know, I handle fighters, right? Well, that's what I was found guilty of, but... Nah, that's just a little joke. I do. And what I do, right, I've got this new fighter. God, he's mean. He's really mean. He's really, like, tough. Once I pull him, he does a programme in the morning, Supermarket Sweep, and I'll pull him out and get him fighting. And the thing is, they need a name. Now, Frank Warren don't think it's going to work. You know, you always had the Manasseh Mauler, yeah? The Louisville Lip, the clones from Cyclone, all this, like... And this fella comes from a little town in, up in Hampshire, right? And he's got, and I was going to call him the Andover Fist. But it don't work, does it? You know what I mean? Here's some stuff, right? You know, I'm a big man on parfum spray and stuff like that. This one is a little bit difficult. So, unfortunately, I wore this, and I walked in, and all I could do was talk about my mate. Hey, you know, he's having an affair. And they go, shut up, don't be so indiscreet. Oh, sorry, shouldn't I say? You know, he's got convictions for shoplifting. And I realised it's because I was wearing that, right? So be very careful. It's not good. And then my mates made me leave the pub the other night. So I turned up in a big blouson thing with flowery collar like that. And I'd let my hair go all stupid, and I was walking around spouting poetry. But apparently that's why. So steer clear of that as well, look. Not the stuff. Here's a bit of advice for you, right? A bit of advice for you. If you suffer, maybe you know old people, right? If you suffer from your joints, sometimes, you know your joints sometimes, especially in this cold weather, and your knees and all like that, and oh, you're a little bit like that. One of the reasons is you're carrying too much skin, right? So just scrape a bit of the skin off. That's all you need to do, scrape a bit of the skin off. This is the best thing you need. Here, look, have a look at that, look. That's it, look. Rheumatic peeler, that's it. I'll get rid of it and make you feel right as rain now once you've used that. Now, what have we got here? Oh, look, now this is something you probably don't know because you ain't got no celebrity friends, but I have, look. See that? One of your mates comes round, Dale Winton, someone like that, John Sargent. There you go, nice crunchy, I like that. How about you think, huh, hey, yeah, fine, but what about if Vanessa Feltz comes round? That's no, there you go, look. You want a big crunchy. You see? Now, what about if Kate Moss comes round? Well, what you do is you get the crunchy, you leave the crunchy in the cupboard, but look, you have a little mouse trap there like that. Kate comes in, oh, I fancy that, ah, like that, and that'll learn her because she's too fat. And she has to... Simple as that. Same with these sweets, right? Same with these sweets. One of my mates comes round, I don't know, maybe Gladiator or Wolf, you give them that, you see? Extra strong mints. And they'll appreciate what you've done. But what about if Les Dennis comes round, or Julian Clary, someone like that? Hey, you give them that, look, you see? Soften it. You see how it's working? You see what we're doing? Simple as that. I'd say Bernard Manning. If Bernard Manning comes round, obviously you'd give him them. You've got to have a laugh, haven't you? Very, very important things, you see, with celebrity friends. Now, what's my family got here? Well, I don't quite see what we... Well, what's this? This is what? That's curry powder. Can you see that? It's just normal common garden curry powder. And then a picture of my very, very dear friend. Look at that. Oh, she looked lovely. She radiant. She glows, doesn't she? She glows. She's about 3 o'clock in the morning, she does, isn't it? So you got some curry powder, you got Vanessa. So what have we got here, my fam? Oh, I see. I see. A whole different type of spicy dish. Look at that. There you go. That's lovely. Chunky chap, my fam. Here we go. Right, you're very lucky, obviously, to find me in, because normally, right, because I've got so many friends, I go out with all sorts of, I go out with famous people. Plus, I have got friends who don't think I only hang around with celebrities. Like, the other night, I was going out with my mate Dino's brother, Chris. No, my mate Chris's brother's called... No, Dino was my mate, but his brother, he don't look like me, but his brother... No, his brother Chris don't look like him, but I look like Dean. Anyway, normally I'll be out and about. Yeah, all right, well, I'll keep it down. God's sake. Having a bit of rut with my neighbours, right? All right, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm playing a bit of music, and they're saying I have my music too loud, right? Because of where I have my speakers, but it's free country, it's my house, I can put my speakers where I want. Here we go. You know what they should make a film about? Torricelli. Shouldn't they? When you think of all the brilliant work he done, all them fantastic inventions, all the advancements he made in modern science, and no one's ever to my knowledge, not even written a book about Torricelli. You'd think he would, wouldn't he? Because he invented the, didn't he? Not very bright, you lot, are you? Right, anyway, let's get on here. Now then, this is a programme that I make called London Bridge with the fantastic Mr. Michael Whale. And it's just to do with changing attitudes in society, right? OK? These days, we're very careful what we tell our kids. We think we're more liberated, but we're not, man. Back then, you could have your kids talking about anything. It was cool, it didn't matter.
We did ask for London Bridge viewers to write in who were born on February the 4th or 5th, and therefore Aquarians. And several of you are with me this morning. Welcome.
Hello.
And you've also got a map, I believe.
Ah, yes, I brought you a map to try and explain what I'm talking about. The reason that this is a very important date for astrologers is that all the planets known to the ancient world went into Aquarius on that night, and there was an eclipse. This has changed the social pattern of the world completely.
There's the map that's explaining what she's talking about. Clear? Is that astrology? Don't you think that's an innocent subject? Yeah, there's nothing there that's going to cause your kids any problems.
What's that up the top, the thing that's got funny rings on?
This is most interesting. This is the south node of the moon, and it conjuncts Jupiter, and it indicates that all of these people and all the others that are likely to follow are coming from a past incarnation, a long way back, and they're bringing in a new social way of life.
So reincarnated?
Oh, they've reincarnated from a very ancient civilization indeed, yes.
Yes, well, Stephen, reincarnation, I'm sure that interests you.
Yeah, I'm especially interested in poltergeists and Ouija boards.
Yeah, well, fine. Yes, by the way, kids, you all used to be dead, but now you're alive again, and we'll talk about Ouija boards. That'd be lovely. Yeah, it's a good Saturday morning viewing.
We were saying, though, because they are Aquarians,
yes,
and they are going to inherit the Earth, if not the world. Like what you were...
The Earth, if not the world. I don't know, they're all deal there as far as Michael's concerned.
If you like a special time in history, say like I like medieval times, could it be that I've come back from that time?
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, I had previous existence here in London, and I knew it because of this sort of thing.
What
yes,
were you
definitely.
before?
What was I before? Was an astrologer, believe it or not, here in the city of London.
Yeah.
And I actually had a...
Believe it or not, we've had a chat and we choose not. All right? But there you go, you got a bunch of young, impressionable kids and you're talking them about reincarnation and past lives. Just listen to this one.
But how would she find out?
Well, she might find out by time slips. A natural association with a period often shows out to interest, but her horoscope would also show tendencies in this way. She could have psychic help, she could have hypnotic help. There are ways of finding out. The thing is, you'll have to go through your past death experience.
Well, they never used to do that on Swap Shop. So we're just going to take her out in the studio. We'll kill her, right? Bring her back to life again and just see what it was like, right? I tell you what, who do you think's the weirdest person on this programme? The kid, who thinks she's been through a past life. Michael Whale, who thinks the Earth and the world might be vaguely related. Her, who paints silly pictures. No. The weirdest person on the programme is about to appear. He's on this show for no other reason than I love him.
I have two friends
Christopher.
at my school, and when we was in the first year, the boys in my class didn't like all the subjects that I used to like during dinner times or during our own time. But when we moved up to a different class, this boy called Dino and I were separated from our old class. Now, Dino's brother, Chris, doesn't look anything like but I look like him, Dino, you see. And we've all got the same interests now. So do you think I've got ideas that I put into his head, or do you think it's a mind bender?
Well, you might be a mind bender.
You might be a mind bender, yes. Hey, kids of today, you thought you invented drugs, didn't you? We was whacking them back by the bucketful in the 70s, let me tell you that. Got another lady now who I'd like to introduce you to. Her name is Mrs. Mundy, and the question is it's quite clear, all right? I'll just state the question. Who is she? What does she do? Up to you to decide.
Does it worry you at all that you don't appear to get the recognition that you think you deserve?
No, not really, because after all, let's face it, there have been people throughout history, Einstein, Newton, Torricelli, the Wright brothers, all people who had forward-thinking ideas. They had the same problems that I've had, so I accept that this will go on. But perhaps when I pop off to the next world, they'll meet me at the gates and they'll say, "Come in, Mrs. Mundy, join the club."
Einstein, the Wright brothers, Torricelli, all going to welcome Mrs. Mundy with honors. So was she an inventor? She must have been responsible. She must have something fantastic to offer humanity.
Mrs. Doris Mundy, bringer of rain.
That's who she is. She's Doris Mundy, bringer of rain. Okay, she's made it rain all over the world, okay? I'll tell you what, Manchester, Doris Mundy's fault. Remember that big drought they had in Birmingham when it didn't rain for nearly 3 hours? Doris thought... but more, no, I remember the Australians, they were a big deal with Doris Mundy because they had a big drought there, okay? And she went over there, she did whatever she did, and she made it rain, and the Australians poo-pooed it, said, no, it would have rained anyway. No, it's nothing to do with you, because they didn't like an English person going over there and sorting their weather out. But anyway, I did the programme. Russell Harty it was who was doing it, and we said, well, let's do the big question then. Come on, if she can make it rain, Doris, can you... One way to find out, it's a lovely sunny day, but can you sort it out for us?
Mrs. Mundy, would you make it rain for us?
Well, I don't like to do these stunts just for kicks. I usually do them to relieve suffering.
These powers that you have control over must present to you quite a big responsibility, do they not?
Oh, yes, but then I would never do anything irresponsible.
You see, that's the important thing to remember. I would never do anything irresponsible like proving my point to you on a programme on the television. But I guess we had to go along with that because she would never do anything irresponsible with her powers. Would you, Doris Mundy? Would you? Would you?
Apart, of course, from 3 years ago, I loused out the cricket, but that was to pay the Australians back for not thanking me for breaking their drought 6 years ago.
I think you'd be very, very impressed by this. What happens is you have your contestant here and your gladiator there, be it wolf or nightshade or herpes, whatever. And then the contestants are you that day. Big whistle, and off they go. And what they have to do, he says, just come here, be very, very careful now, is your gladiator has to come down here and run up the ladderometer. That's what we call it. Please don't try this at home. Ladderometer. Stopping off on the way at the binorama. Have to go into the binorama, find any pieces of loose rubbish that they can, and run all the way up there. And the contestant, you see, can you see over here? Look at that there. We call that the frame-a-rooney. That's the frame-a-rooney, and they have to go jump through the frame-a-rooney, come back, and Jeremy's waiting there with his rugby ball, with Ulrika, and 25 points. Contestants, are you ready? I'm very, very pleased. This is the new masterpieces, a decade of classics on British television. They could have had Cook, could have had Brodowski, could have had Attenborough or Dimbleby, but they've very nice of them. They've gone for me there on the cover. Very pleased. They're very proud, I have to say. Here's a book that I've written. Lots of spin-off books these days from TV programmes. I believe the Fast Show's got one. Mrs. Merton's got one. This is mine. This is a book that I've written about the making of Still in Bed with MeDinner, from the minute I walk in the studio until the time that I leave. That's that there. That's very nice book. And finally, video. Why not? Why not plug my own videos? There's a video you're going to be able to get in the shops very soon. It features me basically just standing there going, oh, aye. Oh, no. Oh, aye, right. All right, sir. Oh, we don't like your sort round here, sir. Oh, look, sir. Oh, big silver bird, sir, flying in the sky, sir. Oh, look. And that's that. That's hey, impressions of Cornwall. You see what I do there? You see? I always run like that, and that gives you the impression there's something worth seeing here. That's why I do that. Now, there is actually. Let's go to America. Come with me, if you will, to the United States, where they phone me up and say, Millsy, will you get over here and make one of our cop programmes? They say it with the accent, obviously, but you know, the feeling's the same. I went over. I'm out in the car with my camera, with the cops, and we've spotted a suspicious-looking character. Okay, someone's reported a suspicious-looking character, might be armed. They've told us where his car's parked. We're on the chase.